what about the surah, very violent and threatening to the Jews, to other people of other religion, to women? Can you also comment on these verses?
Well, the surah is the word for chapter of the Qur'an. So the Qur'an has 114 chapters, and there are quite a few that are violent against Jews and Christians and toward women. I already mentioned chapter 4, verse 34, which in this translation it says this: Men are the protectors and the maintainers of women, because Allah has made one of them excel over the other. That's a common way that this is translated in English. But if you think about it, what does that mean? One of them excel over the other. That means men excel over women. Men are superior to women. And because they spend out of their possessions to support them. Thus, righteous women are obedient and guard the rights of men in their absence under Allah's protection. As for women of whom you fear rebellion, admonish them and remain apart from them in beds and beat them. And so Maududi, in his commentary, he doesn't retreat from the horror of that at all. He says, this does not mean that a man should resort to those three measures all at once, but that is to give them the warning, send them to a separate bed, and beat them. He's saying this is 3 steps. You don't do it all at once. First you give them the warning, then you send her to a separate bed, and finally, if it still keeps up, this problem, whatever you're having, then beat her. They may be employed if a wife adopts an attitude of obstinate defiance. And so this is a far cry from the idea of the equality of dignity of women with men that prevails in the West. Also, when it comes to unbelievers, you have, for example, chapter 98, verse 6. Those who disbelieved, be they from among the people of the book. That is, the people of the book, the Jews and Christians who did not become Muslims when Muhammad preached to them, those who disbelieved from among the people of the book, or from among those who associated others with Allah in His divinity, that is, the polytheists who worship others alongside Allah, they shall be in the fire and will abide in it. They are the worst of creatures, or in other translations it says the most vile of created beings. And so you have the Muslims, as I mentioned before, chapter 3, verse 110, are the best of people, whereas the unbelievers are the worst of people. And these are political statements. These are not just religious statements. These are political statements, since Islam has this political character and establishes a state. The best of people rule, and the worst of people are ruled and subjugated.